Now I'd like to do some training on a flip chart. A flip chart is an idea that was in my business and what Mary Kay taught me years ago in the business on how to conduct a good skincare class or a good facial. It is just a tool that you can use to make yourself feel more confident, have some information right at your fingertips, and make yourself look a little bit better at a skincare class or facial. Now, the one that I have designed and put together is for my unit or anybody that would desire to use it. I will tell you how I put it together is that I went through almost 5 previous flip charts of mine over the many years of Mary Kay that I have been in over the 30 years. And so I decided what worked best for me. So this is just what works good for me, and if you like it, you're welcome to use it. If not, I will tell you the company has produced a flip chart that is more scripted, that they want you to read their words and say that the words like they have them in there. I prefer a flip chart like you'll see this one, which is more like bullet points, so that you can actually be free to use your own words and interact your own style and your own spirit in your own flip chart. So that's kind of where my flip chart has came from. What I would tell you is you can put it in a 3-ring binder. You're going to run off the pages or get the pages from me, and you're going to run it off and put it in a 1-inch easel. This is an easel that I literally got on Amazon, and it's called a 1-inch easel. Or you can get them at Office Max or wherever, or you can put them on an inexpensive 3-inch or 3-ring binder in a 1-inch, just that you buy it at the normal store. But here's my advice on a flip chart. Start using it to do the same thing every time. That is, in my opinion, what I was taught years ago with Mary Kay that has made me very successful in doing faces. Because if you continue and learn to do the same thing every time, that is when and only when you get good at doing something is by repetition. So this flip chart, I'll go through it a little bit with you. The first page is just an opening page. You just have it set up that you see people seeing when you get started. And there's absolutely no problem with looking at the same pages and looking at the words. As you see me flip to the first page, it talks about getting started in opening a skincare class. Pages 1 to 11 will kind of explain things about the company and just kind of prepare them for going into a facial. A skincare class is kind of a 3-part deal. It has the opening, it has the body, and then it has a final close. That is what I was taught many years ago, and it still works to this day. Now, you'll also see in my book that I have things underlined. I think it's important for you to underline things that just will remind you, that catch your eye as you flip from page to page, because you do not need to say every word on this flip chart. You just need to say what you like and what's comfortable to you, and add the rest, and add your own style. Okay, now, like I said, the first page you're going to open it up, and you're just going to thank people for coming, and you're going to share a little bit of your what they call an I story. And that's just you saying why you're in Mary Kay, why you love your Mary Kay. And then you're going to go around and introduce the guests and have them share a little bit so you can kind of get to know who's around your table. You're going to tell them that they need to do a personalized instruction. You're going to be able to tell them that they can try the products before they buy. You're going to be able to tell them that kind of what you're going to do with them. You're going to do some skincare, and then you're going to do a glamour look with them. And you'll always be saying that at the end, you want to say follow-up or a private consultation many times throughout this entire flip chart, that you'll have a follow-up facial at the end. And you always want to mention, too, that there's 100% guaranteed. Now, like I said, those are just bullet points, so I don't care how you cover those, but just know that you are wanting to hit those things to get this class or facial opened up for yourself. Okay? The next page just talks about Mary Kay a little bit. It has been said that businesses that share a little bit about themselves have a lot better success, because women want to have that connection to their products. And so I always just flip to this page. I talk about this being Mary Kay. You can share whatever you know about Mary Kay, but I always just remind people that Mary Kay started this company to enrich women's lives, whether by providing a quality product or an amazing career opportunity for some other people. It also, this is where you hit on the philosophies of Mary Kay, like the golden rule: God first, family second, and career third, and we praise people to success. Those are what the philosophies that Mary Kay have been based on. So that's important to a lot of people, and it gives you a little bit of deepness to what you're doing. And then the third, as we flip the third page, talks about the career opportunity. Now, this is a page you can't skip. This is a page where, if you're smart, you just are going to go down through it a little bit and do not prejudge who you have sitting there with you. Because if you prejudge who the women you're with, you might miss somebody. And I would do it real general to say something like this. I would say, I don't know if anybody here would be interested in possibly a career with Mary Kay, but here's really the big reasons people do Mary Kay. And you hit the bullet points. A lot of people get Mary Kay because they want to run their own business. It might be a financial decision to get Mary Kay. Maybe you want to make a little bit extra money, or maybe you want to make a lot of extra money. A lot of people get in Mary Kay for the friendships. That's really big in Mary Kay. And I don't care how you explain these and what words you use, but you just keep pointing out then. Another reason is the prizes and the praise that we get. One of the other ones is the Mary Kay car program and trips around the world. That's big for some people. And probably the number one reason, in my opinion, is why people start Mary Kay is the freedom and flexibility. Now, you just have to hit on those bullet points no matter how you do it. And again, this flip chart is good because it has pictures over here, because some people will see the words, and then there's another certain personalities that will respond more to the pictures in this book. So that's a little bit of opener on that one. This one is just to give you a little bit of background in giving a little depth, saying that our products they're very quality. When you're having this facial today, you're going to have a quality product. They're going to be safe. The performance in our products are amazing. You need to mention that they do not test on animals. Okay, and sometimes if you don't use a flip chart, you kind of just forget to mention some of these things. You have to really make sure and mention that our company is really big on putting money into the cancer. Cancer is affecting women. We put tons of money into that, and that we do tons of money into domestic violence. And we also are a big company going green. Now, even if that's not important to you, that is important to a lot of different people. So make sure in your own way to mention those, areas. If you want to quote facts, you can quote facts. So I don't care how you get that information across. Just make sure that you do cover some things like that. Okay? And the next page. Then we're just warming up to go into skincare a little bit. Okay? And this one, we're going to just start opening it up to say, you know what? Today what we're going to do is we're going to try some products, and Mary Kay's products are customized for different skin types and different ages. And I love to point out that there are the different age groups, and what you use in your 20s is not going to be the makeup you use when you're 50. And so it kind of gives a generality of that kind of stuff on that page. And you can kind of mention the different skincares that we have to get started. But you say, here's what we're kind of be working with today, and we'll work with the different types of skin. Anything like that goes. But it's just, see how it's just going to guide you? And then you're going to flip. And there's the next 4 pages are just all the different skincares. Now, if you are just doing a person with Time-Wise, or the whole party is that you're doing is just Time-Wise, you can really just stay on this page and emphasize this skincare, okay? But let's say you have somebody that is a clear-proof person, okay? It's in here too. So all the different skincare are in here. I like to mention that we have the different skin types, because you never know in the different types of skin, the different cares we got, because you never know whose daughter is going to need an acne line. You never know who's got a grandmother that wants our repair line. So I usually go into saying, this is our Time-Wise skincare, and I look right at the words. It is a 2-step skincare, and it tells you right here. You can mention a couple of these things, who it's for. Who wants a simple program? And I think I like to be able to usually point over here, and I like to cover up, and I like to say it's a 2-step system. That's why they call it Time-Wise. And then I go in to explain the miracle set. And the miracle set is when you add the anti-aging to the set. And I'm not going to read everything that I say here, but again, anything you need to know is usually down at the bottom about Time-Wise. It has so many different benefits for early to moderate signs of aging. And that's why you would add the miracle set. Okay, there's many more things you could say about this set, but it gives you a little warm up, and it tells the 2 different steps, but it has the pictures right here for you to look at. If you want to quote facts, you're more than welcome to quote facts or anything you want to add about this product. But it talks about that skincare. And then I always usually flip and I talk about the botanical line, that it is a complete regimen for those not yet concerned with aging. It is probably one, again, very important here. It's very cost cost efficient here. I mean, it's very inexpensive. It's for people that liked our previous basic skincare line or our actual Mary Kay original line. It's very good for women that are very sensitive. Or, and like I said, the women that don't want the anti-aging yet. But it does show the picture of it, and it gives them an idea of that kind of a skincare. Okay? Then, whatever you want to say about Clear Proof. But I find myself pointing again, saying it's an effective regimen, clinically shown to provide clearer skin in just 7 days. But it is for people for mild to moderate acne. Now, again, don't care what you all want to elaborate on this, but you might want to mention that we have a Clear Proof acne line, because you never know who might have somebody, a son, anybody, back home that they might be very interested in throwing in a set like this. So I do like to mention it. Okay, now, then we go into the time-wise repair. Now, I'm going to mention it because you never know who's got a mother or who's got somebody that might need to hear about this. But I point right at it and say it's a powerful premium skincare line for customers experience advanced signs of aging, and it will lift away the years. And then you can go on to explain it however you want to. Okay? So, but this is just a warm-up. I'm not going to give you all the words I say, but I'm just going to kind of just give you a little briefing on how this flip chart could work for you. And then let's say we want to go back to, we're going to be showing maybe the time-wise line. We could flip back here and stay on this page then and go back to explaining that and give a facial with that skincare. Okay, when you're all done with the skincare, okay, then the next step, we're going to be putting on some foundations. Now, again, it's not in exact the order you might operate because, of course, foundation primers down here that we all love to put on, because we had to make it the flip chart designed for what a brand new person has in her kit the day she started. That's why you don't see exactly everything in the right order, because a brand new person might not even have foundation primer in her case. That's just where you can again, change this flip chart as you go. You can make notes to yourself on this flip chart. You can do arrows, whatever works for you. But then just know, though, that the next big step is to find a foundation. I love this page over here because it does give a little bit of guidance on our colors of foundation. It kind of tells you which ones are yellow base, which ones are olive, and which ones are pink undertoned. That is great to have right here on the spot in your flip chart. I still to this day go by that chart to help me pick a foundation for a woman, knowing that, you know, the majority of people are either probably yellow or pink base. Okay, and you kind of just look at them to figure that out. Look at their undertones in their skin. The olive person is going to be a person that tans or has some sort of probably Italian or Latino or Indian or a background in them, one of those sorts, and they're going to fall into the olive category a lot. So you'll get better at knowing what foundations to pick, but just know that the chart is in here handy for you. Okay, and then of course you can be even showing CC creams possibly, but they're in there and it gives you a couple pointers about our CC creams, and that literally things that you can say about a CC cream. And then of course the mineral powder is on there too, if you're going to be putting mineral powder over the foundation or possibly just even by itself. So again, it allows you to have plenty of flexibility to do whatever you want with your facials, but yet a little bit of a guidance here to make you look professional and put together. Okay, so after your foundation then, we're going to just review. And I was taught my very first week in business that you need to close after the skincare. You need to stop, breathe, and say things like, you know, all of our products are formulated to work together. You want to avoid breaking up any parts of a skincare. And you talk about sets. Again, you're going to mention the follow-up appointment again. And at this point, you stop and you have everybody compliment each other. And you start asking questions. How's your face feel? And you get interactive with your people. That's what this halfway through point is doing. And then I am known at this point to pull out a closing sheet. I do have closing sheets in my area that we use, but it's not, you can use particular to anybody. You can use whatever flip or closing sheet you'd like, but if you don't have one, you're welcome to use mine. But find a closing sheet you like and pull it out at this point. And clearly at this point, make sure that they know what skincare they just used. And it's circled on that closing sheet. So they are clear as a bell at this point what skincare they used and how much it costs. This is also a good time for you, if you hadn't done it previous, to do the referrals. Okay? Now, the referrals is just where you sit for a few minutes and say, okay, everybody get your cell phones. We're going to have a contest. And at the bottom of your closing sheet or wherever you'd like to collect your referrals, okay, that's, again, another different for different people. Get that sheet of paper out, put it on the back of the profile card, or I'm not really care where you put the referrals, just find whatever works for you, and you have them think of who they know that they would like to give you their name to be pampered with a Mary Kay makeover and possibly get a gift certificate from you, whatever you offer. So that's kind of just closing right there. You close the basic. Okay, now the rest then, and the rest of the body of this flip chart goes right into Glamour. And then you warm them up that we're going to go into Glamour, and you can say a few of these things on here. You can explain cool and warm if you'd like to. And then you're just going to go right into Glamour, and you're going to have them put their cheek color on. Now, this one puts the cheek color on first, but you could put eye color on first. It does not matter. Whatever you're used to is fine, but it gives you a couple pointers about our cheek color. It has you remember that, that it's got A, C, and E in our Glamour, that's good for them. So your cheek color gives you can do the classic application, especially if you're a brand new consultant. You don't need to do all the fancy stuff yet. You would be doing the classic application and keep it simple. Okay, and then you're going to flip and you're going to do some eye colors. Now, on this eye page, I do love this because it does down at the bottom here. It reminds you if somebody would say, well, I have green eyes, what should I wear? Okay, and it does just give you some pointers of a green-eyed person would wear light neutral browns, creams, and vibrant purples. Okay, it doesn't even outdate itself, with our change when we change colors or whatever, because it just gives the basic colors you'd be looking for. So it gives you some good pointers to make yourself look good. And it's just things, again, that you can point to say, our eyeshadows are crease-proof and waterproof and things like that. You just point to things. And then you can get to the eye chart. Now, in your first week of business, you might not want to get all into eye shapes and that, so you will be doing a standard look at their first party. You can promise anything at their follow-up is how you're going to do that. Anything can always happen at the follow-up. But the eye shapes you will learn and get into as you get more advanced in your Glamour and more advanced in doing your faces. But it's yet a good chart, though, that if somebody asked you, I have really whatever eyes, you could go right to that chart and you could actually look right at and follow the steps if you really had to, if you wanted to. So that's just get some eye color on them, okay? And then we're going to follow up and you're going to, of course, put the liner on. You're going to follow up with whatever mascara. But I even like the mascara page because it gives you a bullet point on, okay, the lash lengthening mascara, boom, is for length. Okay, our ultimate mascara, the word is for that volume, okay? The other one is for definition. And our new one that is, it magnifies and multiplies those lashes, okay? So it even gives you words to use. It talks about eyebrow pencil. So you are, see the flow, you're just flowing through putting some glamour on their faces. Adding whatever experience you have, you can add right in this flip chart. Now, then you get to the lip page. It hits some, different, all the different lipsticks. It hits our creams, it hits our True Dimensions, it hits our semi-gloss, it hits some lip gloss, it has all that. Whatever you're going to do and whatever order you want to do is there, but it does, again, give you some good old pointers on just what you can say about the different kinds of the lipsticks. Now, what I'll remind you too is, and it doesn't matter if we're talking about mascara or lipstick on these pages, be very careful not to over advertise what you like. Because what one person likes does not work for the other person. What you are in love with, let's say you love the new mascara, not everybody is going to be a new mascara customer. Not everybody is going to love our new matte lipsticks. So avoid putting too much of your opinion on the person. Allow to ask questions, and then you'll learn to know what lipstick to direct them at or what mascara or any of the Glamour products by asking some questions to them. But don't always just give it, bright red lipstick on them because you think you like red. Okay, red might be a color they never wear. But I think you get what I'm talking about on that one. But if you're a satin lips person, you can have, the explanation is down here for that. And like I said, you can add anything at any time you want, but this is your guide. These pages I don't talk a whole lot about, but it just has some finishing products here that maybe at the follow-up, when they're still oily, you can point out a couple of these products. If they're still dry, it gives you a couple products to go to. And it has some other products on here that you may even use in a skincare class or a facial. But we just put them in here just so you have a few facts about things if you're new and kind of nervous. So you have that. The brush collection is in here too. Now the brush collection you may use possibly with the hostess at your parties when you do it. That's a great idea. Just let the hostess use the brush collection. Or someday you might just want to hold a brush party. And that's a great idea to have a brush collection party and teach women how to use their brushes. And that's another great idea. But you have the page here if you would need it. Or if you just want to mention as you're flipping through here that, just FYI, we do have a great brush set, and you might want to hold one up and show it, because many people are looking for a good brush set. So just make sure you have it in here so you mention it. And then at the end, the biggest part of a flip chart is, like I said, you have the opening where you warm it up. You have the body, which is getting through the skincare and the glamour. But at the end, on this page, on the last page, 35, is probably the most important thing that you do. If you took the time to show our products to make somebody look really good and feel really good, you have to be able to close. Okay, that's all this page is at the end. It is where, again, you go around and you have everybody, explain what they like, and you have everybody compliment one another, and everybody shares what they like about everybody's face. And then again, now you're going to refer back to a closing sheet. You're going to go back to that same closing sheet you have outlaying beside them. And then you can explain the difference between where they were on the skincare, but now they have a complete collection or whatever look you did with them. Okay? This is a great page that shows the roll-up bag. Many of us use the roll-up bag to close, giving this free possibly with a complete collection. But the roll-up bag is right even on here, possibly if you don't even have one with you, it has it there. And I always like to end, my favorite thing after I've gotten the closing sheets out and I've explained it, and I explain the different sets, and I show the roll-up bag, talking about a follow-up appointment again, but it's all right here on the page. On our closing sheets that I use, on the left-hand side, it does you would give them a moment in time right now at this time to fill out the left-hand side of that closing sheet, to ask them questions about what would they like to take home with them today, and would they like to have a file. I mean, just ask them all kinds of questions. And if you have them do that, you'll get all the questions answered that you probably need to be asking. But that is on the left side of my closing sheet. And my final thing that I usually say at every skincare class or every facial is, my goal is that when I give a facial to somebody and I put them on the products, my goal or my mission statement is, I want everybody to love their Mary Kay. I want them walking around telling other people, I love my Mary Kay products. And that's how I usually end my appointments. So I hope that helps you a little bit on getting through an appointment a little bit better. There's also in here on the last page, it talks about the starter kit. So if there'd be anybody that would be interested, or even if you don't know, flip to this last page and just give them a real quick offer of what the starter kit, that it costs $100. If anybody's interested, they can ask you more questions, but it's right here handy for you to use or you to have on the spot, so that you don't forget to mention it. So that's even here at the back of the flip chart. So I do hope that helps you. That is a real brief introduction of the flip chart that we use in my unit. So if you like it, make sure you get one, and you will even get some more training as we go on your flip chart. Hope that helps you.